Right on.
Wahoo!
Whoop, whoop, woohoo! Right on, brother.
Nope. Wahoo!
Wahoo!
And welcome to the Mario Galaxy Pod. My name is Luke. That's where you say I'm Alex.
What up, dude? I'm Alex.
Yeah.
Brother and co-host.
Yeah. I'm your Luigi, and we are Low 5 Gaming, dude.
We are indeed episode 49 proper.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, this is year 4 official of the podcast. End of, come January, we will be 5 years old, brother.
Graduating from podcasting
Low
college.
5
yeah, wow.
is 5. Coming
Wow.
around the corner.
Wow. Very cool.
You feel old yet? You want to talk about some old games, brother?
Yeah. This is funny because this is like an ancient childhood game to like a lot of people. And I'm like, I've never even played this one, but not because I'm too young, just because it was in a really weird pocket of me not gaming.
Agreed. You know, for how big the Wii was,
never had one.
Well, I have one now, which I'm ecstatic about. I love the Wii, but I didn't even start playing the Wii until like the end of the Wii's life cycle.
I never
at
liked
like homies'
the Wii.
houses. Oh.
I had a friend, shouts out Colin, Ace and I, boing, would go to Colin's house and play his Wii. And
you always playing with Colin's Wii.
I mean, he's the only one who had a big Wii, dude. So anyway, and it was fun because it was like new games and stuff. But like, I hated, what do they call them? The nunchucks, or what do they call them for the?
Yeah. Wii chucks maybe.
Yeah, I hated them.
Word.
Never liked them.
Word. I have some experience with that in this game.
Yeah, well, because you played it proper.
I did.
And I don't think you had this game, so I like didn't even really know this existed. But to those who played it, my age, older, younger, it's like an amazing experience and very much a return to form for 3D Mario.
Yeah, well, return to form, pushing the form.
Well, return to form simply because you have 64 and then Sunshine, right. And Sunshine has like an entire split fan base of hatred and
Is there another
adoration.
game in the mixer? Is there another GameCube 3D Mario?
I don't believe so, no.
I think you're right. I think it is just Sunshine.
So then Galaxy comes back and does push things forward, but also in classic Nintendo way, plays it safe, but also is very adventurous at the same time. So pretty cool.
Right on. Yeah, so this game, as we kind of teased a little bit, old. We're old heads now. But came out in Japan November 1st, 2007, North America, and November 12th, 2007. On the Wii, 3D platformer, 1 to 2 players, kind of a cool little co-star mode where second player can help collect all the star bits and shoot the stars to stun enemies. But I played solo, brother. I didn't have a co-star.
Yeah, I had an audience. I played for my boys.
Right on.
One of the reasons that we picked the game, 1, it's a classic. 2, neither one of us have ever played it. But 3, and perhaps more importantly, the new Mario movie coming out is very much centered around Galaxy lore.
So timely of us.
Synergistic, dude. And I wanted to get my boys like slightly more Galaxy lore specific pilled for the movie.
Yeah.
First movie I ever had the boys watch was the Mario movie.
I held on the teaser I didn't watch the teaser for this movie until like maybe yesterday, a couple days ago. And I was surprised. I was like, oh dang, they're like this matches up.
Yeah. Now I don't know. I played it in front of my boys for a little bit, and that was a fun experience. I don't know if they're gonna be like, is that Rosalina? I doubt we're gonna go there, but maybe some of the enemies, maybe when we get into B Mario, they'll be like, dude, it's B Mario. So I hope there's some B Mario in this movie, dude.
Yeah. Gotta be a few cool little enhancements that they added to it, or not enhanced power-ups, I guess. Some unique power-ups to Mario.
And I had played Wonder, so it's you kind of see the lineage of the playfulness in Wonder to this day in the 2D format.
Dog, so you mentioned I played on the Wii. This is true. I actually started because I was like, I mean, you know me, I love me a handheld. I don't have a Wii U, so I can't do the handheld for Mario or whatever.
Sure.
But I do have 3D All-Stars, and that's how you played this game, correct? Same. On the Switch?
Yep.
So I tried it on there.
Dust off the old switchy poo.
Yeah, dog. So I tried it. Like, I was like, you know what? Like, I think I would like to be able to play this game in bed, that kind of thing. Because dude, this is fucking first world problems, but like, my Wii's down in the basement. It's a nice vibe, nice setup in there, but I gotta be down there. You
gotta
know?
be all caving it up alone, which feels cool when you're a teen, but when you're a grown man who's married, it's like, we're gonna go play Wii in the basement. That's it.
which I do, but you know, it's just one of those things. I want to play with my Wii in the basement by myself.
I get that.
But I tried, dude. I gave like the first couple planets or whatever a go. And the control scheme just fell off, and you hadn't started yet. And I was like, I hit you up. I was like, dog, like when you start, like you got to play with the Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah, and I never tried it handheld.
Right on. Not worth it.
No, and I immediately saw why. You got to wiggle and jiggle all the time, and you know there might have been beginning of the game, the whole like perspective, how else would you describe, makes you almost borderline nauseous.
Sure.
So I can't imagine like the way I'd be twisting things with the weird camera work as you're like going around the worlds or miniature planets and things like that. That might have been very disorienting on the handheld.
All right. So when I was kind of going through things and reading up on this game a little bit, the galaxy part of this game. So we won't get into the nitty gritty on the details, but the development process, they wanted to push the envelope with 3D Mario, right? Sure. And a playful way of doing this was to have these planets. So the galaxy part actually came out of, it wasn't like a choice of the story. The story came out of the design. The story came from the design of the game.
That's cool.
Right? Yeah. So they wanted to really push this 3D realm. And the way that they figured out how to do that was to have these tiny planets that Mario travels to. And you get like, we'll just use like a sphere as an example, but they also have capsules and other weird shapes or whatever.
Yeah.
And you basically have like, to use the sphere for an example, you end up shooting off and flying to this sphere. You land on it like a little planet. And and it's a camera thing that they were trying to figure out too, is like how to make, because that's a big critique. Even, okay, Mario 64 like pushed, like that was like 3D realm, let's go, right?
But the camera's torture.
Right. But it's also, it's the first one, so you give it a little bit of, right? So you give it a little bit of a break, but by the time this game comes along, people are like, yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're trying to tackle how to fix that. And their solution was to have these 3D planets that you go around and the camera follows you. And as you wrap around that planet, like the camera will follow you and it kind of like turns perspective and then whatever. And they did a decent job, but like I'm curious because I guess what I'm driving at here is, did you like the planets?
The little planets?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Right
mean,
on.
I think one of the strengths of the game is just the variety of landscapes. So sometimes it felt really smooth and cool. Sometimes I'm like, all right, just jumping on another little orb.
Sure.
One of the last levels I played before recording was you're on this like giant toy robot Bowser, and they do some perspective shifts where your gravity's going
cool.
in different directions, and that can be both fun and frustrating.
Yep.
So I'd say that for the most part, that just kind of summarizes that. Sometimes it's really fun and creative and cool. Sometimes it's mildly frustrating. I kind of like the big area structure a little bit more than a lot of the scatter shot, but both make you appreciate each other in its own way.
It's interesting.
So it's cool.
Yeah, this perspective thing it did was revolutionary at the time. So it like helped solve this camera problem that a lot of 3D platformers were having. And I think it does a pretty good job of it. It's a little disorientating until you get like used to it. But it is fun to see Mario, like especially on like a donut shaped like planet, to run to the edge and wrap around or whatever.
Yeah, and they're very creative with like the things.
It's cool,
they
and the gravity is
hide
cool
and,
too.
mhm.
I still have my qualms, but it's one of those things like you forgive because it's an older game than whatever. But like you do have better control of using the D-pad to change camera perspective, but it locks you out of that a lot of times.
It does, yeah. There's a lot of times I want it, and it's like, no,
Right.
no, and I'm like, I guess.
Right.
You get used to it, and it gets better. And overall, I think via text, you mentioned it, it feels a lot like jumping into the paintings of 64.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you just go into these different colorful worlds. Similarly, like you go back and like sometimes the entire layout is changed to have a different objective depending on which quote unquote star you're going for or whatever.
In the planets proper, right? Not the base, because there's a base world too.
Right. Base world with Rosalina, I'll never know. You're not going to catch me researching. Maybe the movie will let me know. And then you open up these different sections and you shoot up into them, and then you pick within these little galaxies essentially, and then you get enough stars to fight Bowser or Bowser Jr.
Right.
And rinse and repeat. You unlock a new section. You do the whole thing, similar to get enough stars, move on to the next part of the castle in 64. So the old formula is very much there.
It's there. I was seeing on the internet that there was a bit of folks criticize this game a little bit for the homeworld being a little more linear than the castle in Super Mario 64. Like there's more exploration involved in finding the different portraits and whatever, and unlocking the doors.
Whatever.
But like, dude, that's like
we're
like
nitpicking here.
Yeah.
No, and it's what I liked within the galaxies is how it's almost like there was a little test planet. So there's like the planets that you go to and you get a minimum of like 3 stars, and if you're like, oh, you don't need you do. Eventually the game's just like, no, you need 1,000,000 stars. They trick you. 64 did the same thing.
Right.
But there's like these little side planets with like one-off mechanic kind of based goofy things too that really push the motion. And I always thought those were really neat. So like one of the first ones is
very
like
Wii-esque, you know?
Yeah, but it's so much. I didn't play on the Wii, but I guarantee that on the Switch with the Joy-Cons, it was so much smoother. You didn't have to hold your stupid fucking Wiimotes up to that stupid fucking
well, you only use
sensor
one.
bar.
You don't use, like, okay, so the Wiimote, no, I guess I won't. You're right, dude.
But anyway, you'd have to tilt it, and then Mario's on top of a ball. Stuff that you've probably done in Mario Party. So but they do a lot of different like mechanics, like motion-based mechanics, and it's almost like the game's experimental on its own, but within each like a galaxy system orbit, you have the different planet clusters, and then there's just like a little experimental branch over there where they always do a fun thing with the mechanic that I always thought was really neat and cool.
It is dope. You're not wrong about the sensor bar, so I can't argue against that.
Yeah.
But there is something about the size of the Wiimote that I enjoy versus the Joy-Con. But because you're tethered via the nunchuck deal to use the joystick, like it is a little bit cumbersome.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would feel that way if I didn't know the Switch.
Yeah, like if you're in the native environment for it, you'd be like, this feels great. They designed it for it well. It's just, Switch is just a refined experience.
But it is very Wii in the sense that, they are definitely taking advantage of some of those motion controls. And one of the main actions, which I would say normally would be like the B button or maybe whatever, it doesn't matter. But like
shaking.
To shake the fucking controller to be able to do the spin or whatever thing.
Spin around a vine to get
which
moving,
is like...
sometimes it sucked and then sometimes it actually
it's
felt
gratifying sometimes.
Yeah, it could feel good.
Yeah, but a lot of times I was just like, man. And then it's funny if I like went a few days without playing, I would kind of like, I didn't like forget, but like
I definitely ran into some enemies and I was like, okay. But
like,
you could also
right.
on the Joy-Con you could like hit B or whatever.
Oh, see, that's not, I don't think that's an option on the
So I got a little bit of best of both worlds
right
there.
on. Well, that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and Mario is the mascot for Nintendo, and sometimes it's almost lost how creative and cool these games are because Mario's just so ubiquitous. Dude, look at me, dude. Using fucking ubiquitous.
That's nice.
Right off the bat.
Good.
So fucking good, dude. So ubiquitous in Nintendo, and like, as much as I love Mario Golf or like Mario Tennis, like some of the newer entries in the series are becoming less and less inspired, more like just base level user friendly. But like, you look at Galaxy and it's just so creative and they're doing so many different cool things with the mechanics and the power-ups and the enemies. And then jump ahead to recently, Mario Wonder came out maybe a year or two ago, and it's like they're still kicking it, just doing crazy, goofy-ass, wonky things.
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Dude, another big piece of this game that folks love, and rightfully so, is the music. What do you think of the music in this game?
Very good.
Right on.
I don't think I'd go crazy. Like, I wouldn't pull up like a YouTube Mario Galaxy playlist, but I made sure that I wasn't like podcasting or doing something else. And like, the sound effects are great. So once again, when I was a little nervous to bring in the boys, they're about 3.5, so I was afraid they're going to be crawling all on my controller and being really annoying. They were a delight. They loved it. I trained them for whenever I get stars, we go, wahoo! And I'm like, are you ready, boys? And they'll be like, wahoo! And I'm like, come on. Then we're like, wahoo!
Dude, I was curious about
that. They get
that.
all turned up, dude. It's tight.
So this game's like not super hard, but it's not like really easy either. So I was curious when your boys are watching, like, maybe you're better at video games than me, but there's a few times where I would like die on a boss multiple times, and I'd thought of you playing with the boys and being like, getting frustrated Daddy can't like beat Bowser or whatever.
Didn't happen. I think I lost one of the Bowser fights, which become kind of similar. One of the Bowser fights I lost once, but it was actually like this small. Did you get to the ice planet and you're like, you got to jump up on this platform, go under this cave, and attack this thing on top, and you got to do it the classic Nintendo 3 times. I died on that one a lot because if you get into the water, you get cold and yada yada yada. But the boys would just be like, cool, Daddy, you lost again.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, you lost again. But they're like, they'd be like, oh, or something like that when I'd fall off a ledge. They're pretty good sports. The only time, so I was really afraid to introduce them off mic. We've had plenty of conversations and some on mic about like how do you introduce and onboard kids to games. Was just really delighted with how much they enjoyed watching it.
That's cool. Yeah.
The only drawback is they'd be like, where's Peach? Where's Bowser? I want to see Bowser. Dad. Dad, where's
Bowser's
Peach?
dope, dude.
Where's Bowser?
I get it.
And then we'd see him and it'd be cool, but they'd be like, all right, where's Bowser? I was like, well, that's a boss fight. Like, it's going to take some time. They're like,
Bring
but
Bowser
I want to. They're like, how about Bowser Jr.? And I'm like, same thing. They're like, I want to see Bowser. This is stupid.
I'm going to bring us back to the music real quick because this is the first Mario game to introduce like a full-on orchestral music. So it was revolutionary for
felt
Mario.
grand.
Yeah, indeed.
It felt grand.
And there's like a little story behind that though, which is kind of interesting in that like that wasn't the direction that they were going with it at first, right? I believe the composer, Koji Kondo had a big part of it, but Mahito Yokota is the lead composer, I believe. Miyamoto had sign off on everything, right? And at the beginning, my understanding is Yokota like basically was bringing all this music like Latin pop, etc., and was like, "What about this?" And they're like, "No,
No,
it's not. This isn't it." And
Mario
so, like,
can't go Latin. That's for
Right,
a later
dude.
iteration, dude.
yeah, right. but for 3 months, it was like just fucking trying to figure out this music thing. And then finally, Miyamoto was like, dude, if there is anything in your mind that makes you feel that Mario is cute, that's wrong. Mario is cool. And then he went back and he brought this orchestra thing and that hit. And he was like, all right, send it.
Mario is cute, though. What the fuck?
Well, but like I mean, that, yes, you're not wrong. And it's I think that's an easy thing to miss. But like when you look back at the art direction and the feel that they're going for, it's interesting. And I can see that Mario is cool as well. He's cute and cool, but like,
Yeah.
but he's not Kirby, dude. Mario's not Kirby.
Fair enough, yeah.
Where Kirby is cute.
Yeah.
Like that's his ethos.
Not cutesy.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas Mario's cool.
Yeah, and it feels grand. Somehow it fits with the space thing.
Right.
Orchestra and space are kind of opposite of each other, but oddly enough, fit together in a strange way.
Yeah.
I don't know how to break that down right now, but you get the point.
Another fun thing that I kept coming back to when I was playing this game is the word fantastical.
Yeah.
Like every time
Yeah.
that I would get rocking in this game, I was like, "This is so fantastical." It's
Yeah.
like it's interesting
When you
because
shoot out of a cannon, you're like,
dude, or just like everything about it, really, like the weird stuff going on, these little planets, like it is like its ethos is fantastical.
the bee suit Mario.
Yep, the
Head
bee
to buzzer.
suit, like the ice, like all the power ups, really. But like in
Yeah.
essence, just everything going on. The story, like I would have to look up the true definition of fantastical, but like it works. So do your homework, listeners. Like,
Yeah. No, I get it.
and I think that's like me personally, my feel is like that is what this game's going for. But then I started to think about it, and you go back to the original Super Mario Brothers.
It's probably why they're making the movie centered around it. It's so grand.
Yeah, but like I mean, look at Mario as a whole though, and it's an interesting piece to me because like I feel like Mario's has been part of my life for so long that I accept it. I accept its weirdness as normalness. Whereas like if you go back to even the original Super Mario Brothers, like that too was fantastical. You got these weird ass trees that you're jumping on with flat tops. Like none of it makes sense. Like
Right.
it's all wild,
Right.
but we accept it, or like the way that he swims under everything about it, like these castles, like Bowser.
Yeah, you pick up a shell and for some reason you go way
Dude,
faster.
or little
underwater.
Goombas, dude. Like, but yeah, I actually like that mechanic in this game.
Yeah.
But
At first, I was very frustrated with the underwater levels,
Yeah.
as I usually am, but I got pretty fluid with them. It was all
Yeah.
right.
But I think like that fantastical thing, this game nails it super well. Like there's multiple times where I was like, this is just a fantastical experience. But then like it just kind of made me think about that overall like Mario ethos. That's what it is, dude. And like it's so funny to me because like it feels normal because I've had it in my life for so long. But this shit's not normal. It's just fantastical.
Yeah, kind of remember maybe the discourse around the first movie and everyone being like, "No, the plot," and I was like, "You guys are hilarious." Like the plot kind of just exists to serve a platforming game.
Right.
So like people getting all carried away were so crazy, and it's mostly just about all the references and all the coolness.
And so this is our first playthrough of Super Mario Galaxy. And didn't finish, to be upfront and honest with that too. Like I didn't roll credits yet.
I didn't care to. One, I get a little burnt out on 3D Mario, and two, just kind of playing it in front of my boys
Yeah.
on long weekends
Yeah,
when
yeah.
the weather isn't quite there yet. It's just kind of fun to bust that one up. They could go, "You guys want to watch me play Mario?" And Arthur always goes, "Super Mario." I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
Galaxy.
He's just like, Super Mario. There's a children's story wrapped up in the game. Did you ever walk into the library?
Yeah, so it's cool. I mean, like here's the deal. So
I read
the
it
first
to
one,
him.
oh, do you?
It's
That's
cute.
dope.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
see, that's cool because you have that extra layer,
more
like,
integration to the lore. Just trying to get them pilled. Dude.
yeah. When they introduced the library and then Rosalina like kind of giving the story or whatever, I was
You
like, that's kind
accidentally
of cool.
had to sit through 4 chapters you weren't ready to read, and you're like, all right, I want to go back to jumping and shit.
Right. So I did sit there. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then as you continue, you unlock more chapters.
Yeah.
And you have to go back to the library to consume them, and I have not.
Yeah. I mean, it's lore for those who really do care, and there does seem to be more online love and discourse around this lore than the other games. So this is probably why, because they give, the diehards something to sink their teeth into more than 64 ever could or did, and even Odyssey, which I loved. Probably my favorite 3D Mario game. Maybe
we'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So this, though, I bring up the not finishing because you need to get 61 stars, I want to say, to be able to roll credits. Like, you need 61 to get to the last area to take on, like, the ultimate Bowser.
Yeah, you're cruising through the areas. Like, you don't need a lot of stars to unlock all the different places to go. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be a pretty quick wrap. Yeah. And then randomly the game's like, hey, by the way, here's a countdown to 60. And I was like, hey, now, that was misleading.
For sure. And there's like 120 or 120 odd number for the full completion of the game. To get all the stars, it's like 120 something. And maybe it's just 120. And there's an unlock there, too. You unlock Luigi at 120
to play
stars.
As?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And he has similar mechanics to like Super Mario 2 with like the floaty jumps and everything.
Sure.
And it's cool. And I guess in the development there is pushback because whomever, I don't know, who cares? So folks were like, we need to let people get Luigi earlier.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, like we need full stars to give people a reason to gather all the stars.
It's a bummer that I'll never play as Luigi.
Yeah.
But also I respect that because a lot of games, certainly in modernity, they don't really give you any motivation to do all the stuff outside of like achievement hunting sickos.
Right.
So I do like the concept idea of is if you're obsessed with this game, like the only way to get Luigi. A lot of the stars though are just like do this but faster, and I'm like absolutely not.
Dude, I know. And it harks back to something we bring up all the time on the pod, but that idea of like if you had 12 games, like to be able to have that amount of gameplay and that reason to keep on playing, it's great.
If you were a kid growing up with the Wii, you probably got this 100%. One on Christmas and probably didn't get another game for quite a while. So whereas I dug in.
Whereas I look over at my shelf and there's like we literally see there's over 100 games there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like so, I don't know.
Yeah,
a little flex there, I guess. But like the point is like, dude, like.
Which is the point to look at my toys.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the deal is if one game can give you 120 hours of gameplay plus, like at full play, like, dude, you're just not going to play all your games when you have that many. But that's like, I mean, those are first world problems. Those are like adult problems. And adult problems, not right. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a gluttonous amount of games.
It's funny, as a kid, you have all the time in the world and the patience.
And there's that too.
But you don't have any money.
Yeah.
An adult, you like kind of have money.
Right.
But you don't have the time or the patience.
Dude, I saw a good like reel the other day where it was like me when I got a whole bunch of money and it's a dude with like a PS5 and like a stack of games and some other shit, and then it like transitions to me when I don't have any money and it's the same stack walking into the room.
Yes, no doubt.
Oh man. So it didn't finish, but I did get to the point like because you were a little bit ahead of me. I started, then you kind of caught up and went ahead, and so I've got about. I don't know my exact star count. I wanted to say 42 because then I could be like, it's the perfect answer to everything. It's very Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy, like deep cut. But
so we're gonna say
I was like, that will land with how many people? I don't know, 6 of you.
Hey, it's right in your Q zone. Whoever loved that.
Right. I am around that number though, so I've got about 20 more to go, and to get me to 60.
Yeah, I think my countdown meter was like, I think I have like 8, 9, or 10.
Okay,
somewhere in that range. I remember being like, okay. Because it gets to the point where I was telling you early on in the game that at first you have that weird obsessive thing where you got to get every star in the area, but then it's diminishing returns.
It's fun to push through.
Yeah, and you want to see the other stuff, and I'm not going to get burnt out on the first, whatever planets. But then I had like a self-imposed rule of like, no, I need to get 3 stars from each planet except for the bonus ones, but I have to do the bonus ones before I move on. But then the game was like, psych, you actually need to probably get more than 3 out on each of these to get farther anyway.
Right.
So that slowed me down, but also gave me reason to go back. And, you know, when I was joking about the boys being like, where's Bowser? I rushed through like 2 different rooms, essentially.
To be able to show him some
Bowser. And those boss fights were fun. Like, they're cool when you're like smacking things back at the ship or chasing Bowser around that big... I make noises for him and get all animated. It was cool.
Before we start talking about the 3D the Mario Mount Rushmore, I want to know first, do you think, because you brought up Odyssey earlier, and that will come into the discussion about which is better, but I'm curious, per innovation, do you think there's more innovation going from I would say, well, I guess we got to say from Sunshine, from Sunshine to Galaxy, or from, I guess what it would be, Galaxy 2 to Odyssey? Like, which one has more innovation?
I, unfortunately, you know, the only reason I have access to this game is because of the All-Stars pack, and mysteriously there was no Galaxy 2 in the All-Stars pack.
Yeah, right.
And then only recently was Galaxy 2 available, and I'm not even, that might even be a Switch 2 thing, right? Or is that on the Switch as well?
I can't remember, and is it digital only right now? I can't even remember.
It's very expensive as well. For the package of those 2 games. So I haven't played Odyssey 2.
Yeah.
Or not Odyssey 2, excuse me. Galaxy 2.
Right.
But I hear that one's the one that gets all bonkers and like really pushes everything forward.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I'm totally...
I haven't played it either. My understanding is it's Galaxy. It's kind of like what Tears was to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. It doesn't feel right for me to say Odyssey is a bigger jump forward because I played, oddly enough, Odyssey before Galaxy. Sure. So it's like... It's weird to go back to an old game that feels fresh. So I'm just going to have to say that it goes to Galaxy for all. I'm just going to have to try to put myself in the perspective of doing all the different motion-based side planet stuff and how cool that would have been. And like talking to people who were into it at the time, they talked about it in a pretty reverential, mind-blown way.
Dude, this thing scores super high on Metacritic. Like it's one of the best. I can see
why. Yeah, it's very crowd-pleasing.
Right.
And like it's very tight.
It was like it was considered one of the best games of all time on Metacritic for the first few months.
Oh, word. It's very tight. It's very like well done and polished.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel any jank. Like I never felt like things were unfair when I wasn't doing well.
Same with Odyssey.
True. Odyssey was fun. We can get into that if we want to Mount Rushmore it, but Odyssey was so polished. And
for me to answer that question though, I think I'm in line with you where it's like it's hard for me to say that Odyssey takes a cake on innovation considering that there's so much Galaxy DNA in Odyssey.
Right.
But Odyssey obviously pushes like some of the animations, like I don't know, dude, like fucking like T-Rex Mario was dope. Like
T-Rex Mario was
dope.
But
it like plays into that fantastical thing I was saying.
B Mario though?
Buzz
Mario? Buzz don't land on the water, Mario dude?
Dude. I don't,
Spring Mario?
Do I like B Mario? I don't think I do.
The boys like B Mario.
Well, yeah, he's super cute. Functionally, though, I'm like, you need to fly longer, bro.
Yeah, no, and it's cute when they're like, if you land in the water, you'll lose your ability. And I'm like, yes.
That's funny.
Look at you learning things.
Mount Rushmore Mario's, though. Like, let's just do 3, though. Like, not a full-on 4.
Oh.
Unless you want. I don't know. I guess that's like,
just gonna rank them.
Yeah, sure.
Last place, even though I know... Those who love it the most, and that's Sunshine.
Okay,
it's just hard and wonky.
It's got a weird control.
You ever played it?
Yeah,
I played it with the 3D Mario. Part of the problem was that I played it after beating 64, so I was a little
64 pilled.
Yeah, I was a little done. 64, you're in the weird nostalgia zone, but that would be probably 3rd place here of the 4 that I've played.
Yep.
I understand what it is. You'll never match how cool and crazy that was as a little kid.
Right.
Like that being in that environment. It was the coolest shit in the world. Anecdotally, I had a student, he gets his work done, so I let him slide, but he's got an emulator up and he's like, where do I go? I was like, dude, you have to jump into the paintings. He's like, what?
Yeah.
So I got him on the Bob-omb's battlefield, and he goes, what do I do? I'm like, you'll figure it out. Just get up there. And then I see him trying to battle the Thwomp, and he's like, what do I do?
Is he emulating 64?
No, he's on his Chromebook.
Okay.
So the control, bless him, dude, to deal with the camera and everything like that while playing ASDW and like, spacebar and stuff. But I was like, yeah, you got to ground pound the Thwomps.
Right on.
So I was like, it's kind of shepherding him. And so like that game, it's a classic. It's one of the greatest games of all time. It opened up the door, literally. But I think Galaxy's a better game. I don't think that's too crazy to say. It's just so much more polished. And dude, Odyssey came out at the perfect time. It was that awkward gap between Zelda and Mario, and it was just so vibrant, colorful, cool, exciting, and I was pretty obsessed
Music in
for
that
a
scene too,
nice
yeah.
like 15 to 30 hours.
Sure.
So it hit at the perfect time. The music was epic. The moment was there. And I was a very excited 25-year-old.
Right on. Yeah.
It hit at the perfect time. So I look back at that game with like a crazy amount of fondness. If I was going to replay any of the games, I think I'd pick that one.
Word.
Yours is the same.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, 64 has got to be in there because it's the, that's the beginning of it all.
Is that your one though?
Dude, so it's tough because
mine
like,
were ranked because I only played the 4.
Yeah.
So it feels weird to be like, here's my top 4 of the 4 games I played.
Right. And we're only really, if there's 4, we're only really, trimming 1.
Yeah. Which we just
haven't played.
Yeah. So it's,
but if you
rank them.
So I'm gonna widen this to all the Mario games I played.
Well, I wasn't ready for that, dude.
Yeah, 3D Mario's too minute. But I would say that this is. I do think this makes my if I'm talking 4. See, that's fucking tough, man.
Yeah, well, that's not after I give you my 1 through 4 rankings.
Right.
You're like, how about all Mario games? I'm like, because is this game better than Super Mario World?
Dude, I don't know.
If you take the nostalgia out, probably.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do the Mount Rushmore with all the games. I think it's interesting too because I'll talk this a little bit to this later when we do side question, but I picked up Wonder on sale too, and like, dude, my fantastical thing, Wonder like blows the fantasticalness out of the water.
They really tie in the musical theming, which they did in this game too. You ever get into the situations where you got to follow the notes and it does the song? They like ramp that up by 100. I actually saw that in Rayman Legends first.
Oh, interesting.
In a more epic way, almost. So like, maybe giving Mario credit for some stuff that other developers have done, but obviously Mario's going to do it more polished and sexy.
I'm not going to give a clean Rushmore, but I'm going to say this is up. I'm not going to give a clean Rushmore, but this is up there. And I think that even though I haven't played it, I would use the same argument that I use for Breath of the Wild and Tears as to why I like Breath of the Wild more is probably what I would say here with this one because it came first.
That's fair.
But it's a phenomenal game, dude. Phenomenal game.
Greater conversation of how do you onboard kids into games. I feel like this gets them into a world that's really cool.
Yeah.
You talked about them like doing the little star shooting thing, that little co-op mode. I don't know if that really satiates anyone as much as like in the Wonder. I think there's like a Yoshi mode where Yoshi can't be defeated.
You can do you can like play as Cappy, right?
But I think like the sidekick, it's just better to have an invincible person bouncing around the screen because you might gain some literacy. Whereas like I don't find the sidekick thing to help.
Sure.
So it's just been a really fun game. Like I wanted to play it to get them into the movie more, or maybe take them to the movies, see if they can handle that. But it's just like such an epic fantasy little world to get the kids into and get them into games and kind of, it's easier to do that than it was with 64 because 64 was low-key hard.
Yeah.
I remember just like only being able to
That's
handle
hard bits of this game. Oh, one qualm I do have about this and all 3D Mario games is, dude, when you turn it off, your life count resets.
Really?
So if you have gathered like 14 lives in your play time, and then you turn it off, turn it off.
I have like 60 or 70 some because I just sleep the system.
Oh, see, you dog.
Another modern technology.
So if you were to straight turn it off, if you were to exit and save and exit or whatever the proper way, nothing wrong with what you're doing, but like
the proper way.
the way that God intended, then it would reset your life count to 4 every single time. Which isn't a huge problem because there's enough like free lives, and you get
you don't have to start over, right? They just
I've never gotten the game over. I still got that Kibble G gamer.
The 3 Mario act structure will drive me nuts against enemies too.
Yeah, I mean that's so ingrained in like the structure. You have to do that. Like
sometimes it's a little goofy.
It can be silly for sure. I also noticed that like there was one boss that there's a couple different bosses that I've had to play a couple different times. Well, yes, but like what I want to get at is like when I can't remember which boss it was, but I was like dying a lot. And instead of doing, because normally it's like 3 hits next tier, 3 hits next tier, 3 hits next tier, or whatever, in that system of the 3-3-3, right? I noticed that I had died enough times where it cut me down to 2-2-2. It was like, throw this man a bone.
Damn.
At least I don't know. I think that's what happened. I'm pretty sure that's what
Enjoy
happened.
your
Anyways.
chicken hat, sir.
Oh man. So if you got to give this out of okay, so there's a mechanic where you collect stars throughout this thing. It's 5-star points to get a full star.
It's 5.
5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Sending it. I got to do it too, bro.
Yeah. I mean, even though I wasn't
do it
obsessed with it, because if you've played, I mean, sometimes you're just a 3D platforming person, and that's the kind of game you want. I very much respect and can see a perfect game
Right on.
in that genre, but that doesn't mean I want to play that genre a bunch.
Yeah.
So it's like, if they were like, how do I make this game better? I'd be like, no notes, dude, other than whatever you guys did for Galaxy 2, because apparently you did it.
Yeah.
Just give us more better.
Dude, speaking of notes, 5-star points is whack. And we use something similar for Diablo. What do we want to do this rating out of? We already given the number, but we need a new.
I mean, you're collecting stars at the end of the day.
That's true.
So it's really it's a
show
different.
notes.
See, it's a different for Diablo. That was a 5 points on a pentagram.
That's true. That's true.
This is a different.
All right, star points it is,
a
and
different
it's still
vibe.
got 5.
Wahoo!
Woohoo! Who would you recommend to? Fucking anybody.
Except for you weird Rosalina mommy stands out there. You guys need to settle the fuck down.
Dude, Rosalina, she's kind of weird. Like, got a little creep factor
Like
to her.
a
in my
goddess
opinion.
type. Yeah, but once again, then I don't know, dude. I have Mario on Reddit, the Mario subreddit. So sometimes the
word.
fan art for Rosalina is like, I know what type of man you are. You need to settle the fuck down.
Oh, it's clowning.
Yeah.
Shit, man. Full send.
Full send.
Cool game.
Yeah.
That-
Most excellent.
Let's take a little break. Hear from our unsanctioned sponsor. Come back with some side question. What's up, brother?
Hey, dude, what do you got for me?
This month, unofficially brought to you in part by Vinyl Records.
Nice.
Wax.
Nice.
Wax, baby.
Yeah. You'll never guess this, but we're nerd collectors for those too. I don't know if we mentioned that ever.
You know, I was thinking back, and I was like,
This millennial
because
Q-zone.
our plan, audience, is to go on a little bro date after the pod today, and to check out, possibly if time allows, head to a record store, searching for some wax today. And it's kind of funny because Luke has been, I don't know, balls deep in the wax for a long time, and I feel like you never like really left like the collection of records, which is
I slowed
awesome.
down,
Right.
but I picked it back up.
Yeah.
So
whereas I was deep in record collecting, that was like kind of my thing. But as I think back, I think that was like again, my shelf, like the retro video games. I feel like I shifted over into the video game realm. And when I did that, like I don't have the capacity or the wallet for both, right?
yeah.
And they take up space. So there's that.
Yeah, the space thing's big. I mean, selling vinyl is a nice curated aesthetic.
It's cool.
That's very wife approved. Al's shelf, if it wasn't in this room, would be on some divorce territory shit.
There's a reason it's all in here for sure.
Yeah. When I was able to transition my amiibos into my children's room, that was a nice landing spot that didn't involve a box in the garage for them.
Dude, I got these memes in here too, and it's funny because my boy comes in and it's a lot of fun, dude. Like he like looks at them and then asks like which ones are, but he like, so Mario and Luigi are over here on my little TV, and he will often be like, "Go get Mario." I'm like, yeah, dude, whatever. Just like go in there, grab Mario, come up, I let him hang out with them, like bring him out, play with him and stuff, and he'll like throw it, and I'm like, my man, like I'm gonna let you play with these toys, but please respect Daddy's toys.
It's not a toy. It's more of an interactive statue. I'm going to need you to stop.
Nah, I'll be on that. Like I've let go in that respect, but like it's but it's fun, dude. He comes in and it's like, what's really fun is the layering I've been able to do just a little bit of. For instance, like I've been coming in, he'll come in here and I have the Mario Game & Watch is like one of the things that, so it just plays Super Mario Brothers and a couple other things, but it's fun because he'll ask to like to do that now sometimes, and I'll do that, and I've got like a little amiibo of a Goomba playing Super Mario, and he's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's a Goomba." And then he's like, "Right here!" And he points to the amiibo of the Goomba, and it's like such a cool thing to see him like connect the dots or whatever. The other day, I had my Link shirt on, my Legend of Zelda Link shirt, and he was like, "Oh, who's that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Link, dude." And I was like, "Here, come here, man. Like, come here." And I like bring him in.
Let me bring you over here.
As soon as I bring him into my office, and like I've got like an entire shelf that's just got Zelda amiibos on it. And I was like, "That's Link, bro. Like, check it out. That's Link." And I was like, "This is Link." And he was like, "Oh, what? And then, and he's like, Link. And then like, it's just super fun because like now he's super stoked on Link and everything. But to do that layering is it's just kind of cool as a dad to like be able to do that.
But vinyl.
But yeah, it's a vinyl. The vinyl thing is wild though, dude. Like I've had an itch as recent to kind of come back, to kind of look for some new
Taylor
vinyl.
Swift got you back in.
Well, I think it's like there's a few things. I did get Anna I think like the most recent vinyls that I've purchased have been for Anna, and it's like Taylor Swift, and then she actually got me Bad Bunny's like
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
That's another fun thing with the kid too, dude. Is like I'm sure you got this with your boys too a little bit, but do you like telling the artists that you're listening to that kind of thing?
Oddly enough, no.
Oh, you should.
They're super into the record player.
Yeah.
They always have been. I have some pretty funny pictures where we had like, it looks goofy in hindsight, but you know, it's about surviving. We had some like literal like rails in front of the record player so they couldn't touch all my stuff. Don't know why I can't think of the word.
Dude, try introducing the names of the artists when you're listening to it.
Sure.
Because they'll associate
my
it.
taste is too eclectic.
It's fun, dude. Like, but that's just it. Like,
they're not ready for Make America Fuck Again. Sturgill Simpson, dude.
Johnny
Blue Skies.
You never know, dude. They might be like they might be like sitting there without a record on. And they'll ask you for Sturgill. That's like, how fun is that?
It's pretty cute.
Elton will be like a Babunny, and I'll be like, hell yeah, dude, we can listen to some Babunny.
Yeah. No, we got him.
Or Elton John.
We got him for you too. We got the little Fisher Price record player, right? Does he ever mess with that?
He does, yeah. He's a little stinker these days. He'll like. I mean, yes, he loves it and plays with it, has fun with it. So like last night he wasn't coming to bed.
Yeah,
like,
sure. It's an annoying toy to
so
get.
he like runs over. Yeah, so he like runs over. Like we're trying to like get him to clean up and stuff. With whenever, anyways. So going to clean up, and then he's like not listening to like come to the stairs with me or whatever, and instead he goes over to the record player and like puts on a record. I was like, yeah, that's cool, dude. Let's like we got to go to.
There was a dog who had a name. You're like, I'm gonna kill myself. And Bingo plays 3 times in a row again.
He gets this mischievous look, and he just puts on like the calm record. Because I was like, we got to calm down, dude.
Nice.
We got to calm down.
I like that.
Dude, kind of smart kid, but like somebody puts on the meditation record. I was like, you little.
Yeah, it's hard to stay mad at that.
Dude, it is clowning.
That's pretty good. The boys love to turn on my turntable and hit the start button.
Okay.
Definitely caught them and had to do some scolding when they're touching on some things. It gets a little scary over there for the big dork that I am. But I have some very cute pictures of them, like especially over the summers. They'll be like, "Daddy, let's listen to Daddy music." And I'm
That's
like,
cool.
Let's go, dude.
Daddy music.
Let's rip some Allman Brothers, dude. Let's
try
get
and tell
you
them.
indoctrinated, dude.
Dude, try and tell them who the artist is, because I think you'll notice that they'll ask for it, and then it's just kind of fun. It's like they might not. That's my experience.
Pass down
though.
their Bob Dylan heritage,
dude. Maybe
from Grandpa.
Dude, it is funny. Like Elton, he has. I mean, Bob Bunny, Elton John, and Bob Marley.
So when Elton John, I believe the record you had was that Caribou.
Yeah, I've got that
bitch
one.
is back, because he like, Dad, the bitch is back. Come on, dude. Bitch and the bitch is back.
Oh, no, that's a great song, though.
Yeah, no, it's a banger, dude. It's funny that people go really one of two ways. There's not a whole lot of indifference. People who don't collect are either like, oh, that's cool, I see why you do it. Or they're just like, I have Spotify.
Word. But I thought, dude, there's some. I mean, just like with
a lot of friends that think it's the silliest shit in the world. I'm like,
just like physical, dude.
Let me play with my fucking toys. Dude.
I mean, you get it.
Let me play with my fucking toys.
I'm about to go on my diatribe. I'm like, dude, fucking physical media and the ritual, like whatever. But
yeah,
I mean,
Tyler, my fucking discs are cool, dude. Fuck off,
dude. Just like with the video games, when you have to load up the video game versus just picking it off the menu, like there's an intent behind what you're going to listen to. And the fact that you can't just skip songs without getting your ass up and like lifting the needle and moving it. Like you listen to albums instead of just listening to tracks.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to the record store before Mother's Day and being like, do you have the Hillary Duff album, please?
Nice. Hey, man.
You know, the horny one?
Yeah.
I'll give you one of those.
Oh, I could dig it. Vinyl, man. I love it. Shout out to the Break Even Beats Collective. It's a group of homies that we get together and spin records from time to time. We got one coming up to pay respects to our homie Brad who passed, but that'll be funny. He was a big part of the Beats Collective. But spinning records, dude, it can be it's fun. You do it at your home all the time. It's like a cool communal thing to be able to come together and spin records with the homies. It's something I really enjoy. There's a lot of cool things about vinyl, dude.
Yeah, you have a little traveling case. I almost brought my Sturgill over here. Because I don't know if you heard, it's number 3 charting right now, and you can only buy it physical. So that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, a lot of people buying.
So if you're not on the internet and you're still charting right now, I was like, well, he's not going to be able to listen to it. He doesn't know how good the album is. So yeah, I got that in the mail.
Nice.
I pre-ordered it and it came a week later because of the snowstorm / another debacle, and I was so butthurt, dude.
Yeah, that does suck.
was
anytime a pre-order gets delayed,
Because I
you're
can't
like,
listen to it on streaming, so I've just been edging for like a month.
Nice. Was it worth it?
Yeah, it's
How's
great
the
album.
payload? Good.
Yeah, but then everyone else got it, so then not only did I get edged, I got cucked.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that was beta simp cuck.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Per-use.
Anyway.
Right on. But Vinyl, man, I dig it. Digging through records, crate digging, playing them. Something about that fuzz, too, dude.
Dude, it's the collector in you, dude.
This month, unofficially brought to you in part by Vinyl Records.
General nerd shit. Some side questing.
Man, dog, you been side questing?
Yeah, to pair although to call it a side quest probably isn't fair because I've been playing it so much. As I eagerly anticipated my Johnny Blue Skies album, also the release date for Slay the Spire 2 was dropped.
Ah, yes.
And they were like pretty much they were supposed to be like a day apart from each other, I think, or like very close, but I didn't get my album until later, as previously mentioned. So Slay the Spire 2, I put like maybe a few hundred hours into Slay the Spire 1.
Yeah.
So like pretty big deal. 2 is like one of the most eagerly anticipated games of the year for a lot of people.
For everybody, not just
For everybody. Look at the sales number, brother.
Is it nice?
It's like the biggest indie sale
Interesting.
on Steam, I think, ever.
Why doesn't it have more reviews then?
That's a great question. People are probably holding off because of early access nature. Although I played not a crazy amount, but a decent amount of early access games.
Hades 2 got hella reviews out of the gate.
Shoot. Man, it is a certified slapper. It is great. It is more better. Slay the Spire.
Nice.
More better.
I know you hit me up. You gotta get Slay 2, dude. And I was
like,
like, dude, I like respect Slay 1, but like I'm not gonna do 2 when I didn't give 1 the proper time.
Honestly, though, 2 is so good that I don't think you'd go back to 1. So it's not a thing where it's like I didn't play 1. 2's so good.
Well, I'm not worried about
animations. Make it so much like more lively and cool, and they got new creative ideas. And there's co-op, dude. I can hold your hand.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
So that's the main obsession I really had. Kind of overtook Mario, and that's okay.
You playing on the Steamy D?
Yeah, I play it docked a lot.
Oh, interesting.
Because then I just got the records going.
Yeah.
Got a lot of records going. It's nice when you want to eat ice cream and it's not like I have to put my controller down. I'm like, it's turn-based, so it's just great. I guess I don't have overwhelmingly interesting thoughts.
I got a picture of Luke like eating ice cream, Sturgill on the fucking record player, Slay 2 on the
happened
TV
recently, so it's not an impossible image.
Yeah.
And it's been great. It's interesting, especially at this stage of my life, to like eagerly anticipate a game. Doesn't always happen too much, and then when it does, like sometimes by the time it actually releases, I'm like, I don't know if I really have time, or blah blah blah, and maybe it doesn't live up to the expectations. So it's been kind of fun how much childlike joy it has brought me.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah, so
nice.
That's been my biggest side quest for sure.
I can dig it.
Other little games here and there for little sprouts of time, but I think I'm already like 35 hours into Slay the Spire 2.
Okay.
And it has not been out that long.
Yeah, good for you.
This is some rookie numbers.
I mean, those are inflated because you put your control down, you be eating ice cream and shit.
True. Should have told you that.
Is that a game that you can play in front of your kids?
If I wanted to, I suppose.
They're probably less interested in watching.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be super into it, but like because of the Steamy D, when they're watching like Spider-Man or something like that, I can whip it out.
What Spider-Man are they watching?
Spidey and His Amazing Friends, dude.
Okay,
that's on Disney Plus.
Right.
Same as the Iron Man. They're big into that. Got them into some Arthur recently.
Nice.
Yeah. Dude, the Arthur soundtrack, or not maybe it's just the intro. What a banger! Like, who's in charge of that?
I don't know. It's good.
Yeah, who's just like, hey, let's make it kind of Rasta, dude.
At what age can we start showing our kids like the X-Men series?
Like 97.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about even like, because you were talking about how you're showing Elton the different links. I was like, dude, if they think this is cool, like I'm definitely going to play Ocarina of Time in front of them more so than like having them play it. But like, we're definitely not there yet with the violence. Like I don't want my kid running around kicking and hitting me and each other. So
that's a tricky one for sure. The violence, even some of the books we have, like we have a couple like Star Wars books, and it's like, I mean, they're like 5-minute Star Wars stories or whatever. It's tight, and Elton does enjoy them. But I mean, there's a couple that's like, I don't know, these are weird little monsters and like fucking fights and shit. It's like whatever.
Sometimes they got weird, like, you know, and then all the bad thugs go away, and you're like, wow,
dude,
maybe I'm more of a hippie, but I feel that term to be loaded, so I'll be like, the Green Goblin's bad guys.
This is a side question, so I guess it's okay to go on a tangent. But per like the violence and media and consumption for kids, whatever, we started watching. Anna introduced Elton to Madagascar. Have you seen that movie, rather?
When it came out a billion years ago.
So it's fun. It's a fun movie. He loves it.
Black zebra with white stripes, or a white zebra with black stripes.
Right, Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
quite literally.
It was good. It was good. It's funny because now all lions are Alex to him, and all zebras are Marty.
Okay,
and then all giraffes are Marvin. Like it's I don't know, it's a thing.
It's cute.
But he like whereas like he was super Grinch pilled, now it's all on Madagascar. Really wants Madagascar. Yeah. But there is a scene, it's like a throwaway scene that I never really would have like paid much attention to, but like one of the little I don't know, whatever the monkey things are called, it like strangles another monkey. It's like a comedic strangle.
It's like The Simpsons almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was holding Elton, and he put his hands around my neck like to strangle me, like kind of like, you know, because he saw it on TV.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, that's as a parenting one. It's like, oh shit,
dominance, right?
Nah, dude, yeah, nah. But it was one of those things where I was like, oh shit, like where you know, like you thought the mindset was like, you know, rated G, like this is cool. It's like whatever,
99%.
right? Yeah. And it was just like a little teaching moment, being like, hey man, like, you know, we got to be gentle with each other's bodies and that kind of bullshit, like whatever. But it's like one of those tough things is, you know, trying to be a parent and trying to figure out like what kind of things to let your kids get into and how they consume the media and how to teach them around like the shit that's like, you know, maybe not cool to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that.
So yeah, side quest, parenting.
Yeah. You been playing any games, dude?
Dude, I've been playing hella games. So it took me a little bit. Like I started playing Super Mario Galaxy. And I felt like you were like dragging your feet on it.
I was, yeah.
And I was like, all right, well.
You literally scolded me. You're like, it's time to put foundation away. And I was like, no. I'm
for sure. But yeah, right. Yeah, so I started playing Galaxy a little bit. I was like, well, Luke's fucking dicking about. I'm going to check out some other games. I got into a real nice side quest like flow this past stretch or whatever. Starting with Grizz.
Oh, yeah.
But Neva, which is by the same developers that made Grease, super cool game. It's definitely a game I want to play through. I did a couple sessions. I really dug it. It basically everything I love about Grease is in this game, but it's an action platformer.
Okay.
So with like decent combat and like it's cool, dude. So when I do a decent chunk of a side quest, I've been trying to hit the Discord, little plug to join the Discord, my friends. But that's a little extra. And I've been trying to like put it out on the Blue Sky in a different form, but like put it out on Blue Sky, my little side quest experience as well. And I'll plug for the Blue Sky there. You get on there. It's good.
Also follow Al on True Social.
Nah, I'm not there yet.
He's got to be out there too.
If you guys want me there, you can tell me. But then I'll also flag that I'm like, you get wild. But anyways, dude, yeah. So Neva, super cool, dude. I wanna return to that one. I think maybe we'll do it for a pod sometime. Super cool game. And then I got to shout out another game that I put a couple hours into that I think will be worth returning to. Have you ever heard of 3D Dot Game Heroes?
No.
So this is a game stuck on the PS3. And it's actually I don't know all the developer and history or whatever, but it's related to who makes a Souls game. It's a Souls like the Souls likes
Namdai Banco, something like that.
Okay, yeah. So they are the publisher, but I'm talking about the developer.
Drawing a blank. Got podcast brain.
I know.
So usually somehow
ridiculous.
Anyway.
Well, I gotta figure. So 3D Dot, it's stuck on the PS3, right? So it hasn't come off it hasn't been ported to anything else, but it's this really cool art style. I've been dropping some stuff in the side quest on Discord of that, but it comes as a recommendation of from Rick of Pixel Project Radio, who did a really cool episode on it with Bill from Gaming Collecting Podcast, I believe. But they had a really good chat. There's not any spoilers in there. It's worth a listen if you are interested in learning more about this game. I hope to find the time to roll credits because it's a Zelda-like on the PS3. Cool. Looks very much like the OG Zelda vibe, but it's like, okay, bringing up my amiibos again. But you look over at the Link amiibo there with the pixel block stuff going on.
Yeah,
it is like that. That is the art style, but it's these little blocks, right?
So it's a top-down Zelda-like.
Yeah,
not
but
a 3D one as much.
Well, it's a Link. Yes and no. So like the remake they did of the Game Boy game Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
It's a lot like that. So it's not straight top down, but it's like a 45-degree angle or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So almost it's dope though.
Dioramas almost.
Yeah. So it's more or less just a Zelda game, but it's got some like interesting things about it that make it not a Zelda game, but it's basically a Zelda game.
And it's called what?
3D Dot Game Heroes.
3D Dot Game Heroes. Yeah. Sounds like a weird web address. For sure. It's very much of its time. Yeah.
But it has this like timeless art about it. And the gameplay's nice. It's just such a weird gem on the PS3.
Sure.
I hope to finish that one as well at some point because it's I love Zelda and it like the Zelda DNA is there. It does just enough where it's like not Zelda, but it's Zelda. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool.
Very cool.
Oh, dude, you finally got me on the Prince of Persia tip for
the OG one?
No, dude. Like the one that like forever, the roguelike one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What have I been calling it? Rogue Pop or something like that?
Yeah, what's the...
It's the Rogue Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
So it's a lot like this by the Dead Cells developers. Fucking dope game, dude.
Very slick. Very cool.
I've been capturing some gameplay while I play that one on my PC and Steamy D. So there might be some content around that soon, but I like the flow of it, very much like Dead Cells, where it's like it feels really good to play. The roguelike aspect of it is fun, and it's like, dude, not necessarily a hot take, but I think it might be better than the Prince of Persia game that we covered for the pod that came out for the Switch and everything. But like,
different,
super different, I guess. But like, I think it might be more of my wheelhouse than that, though. Like,
sure.
Even though I love a Metroidvania, like the roguelike of it, and like it's just cool when the music fucking slaps.
Yeah. No. Glad you like it,
dude. And so those are the major side quests with one additional. I've been playing through a game called Fishbowl. Which,
the weirdest names.
Yeah, so Fishbowl's a cool game. More about that on the 30th because there's an embargo. But I was sent a Steam key to review the game, so it's kind of fun to have that. Shout out Wholesome Games. But it's really it is not a game I would necessarily go out of the way to play normally.
Style wise,
just everything about it. But it is a game that is very much it's cool.
All right, cool.
So I'm excited to tell folks more about it. Come the 30th.
Who's getting
content
edged?
Plan?
Who's getting edged now? You
around
are.
That. Mm-hmm.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, but that does it, man. Those are the major side quests. I've been trying to add more side quest content to the Discord as well as the socials. So follow us in the socials. Join that Discord. And what's stopping you? Ain't nothing stopping you. There's a button inviting everything. Head to low5gaming.com. Press that button. Join us.
Wahoo!
Shout out Shaggy, the most recent addition to the Discord. Appreciate you, brother. Cool having another Midwesterner in there. The rest of the country and world is invited as well. But being Midwestern boys,
sure.
One of us. Even though you're from Wisconsin.
Yeah. I forgive you.
Luke married in, so he's, whatever.
I got kids running around, one with a Viking hat, one with a Packer hat, and I'm just waiting for someone to fucking confront me, and I'll be like,
dude, we were hanging out as a fam, and one of your boys had on the Packer hat, and I was like, so when am I allowed to fucking rip into him about this? I was like, I'm going to hold my tongue for a while, but...
Went to the library, and it was pretty nice out, and the child did not need to be wearing his hat still. I went, hey, can you take that off before you embarrass Dad? And then another dad, I caught him smirking pretty hard. He caused the whole exchange, so I was pretty proud of that.
Right on, brother.
Wahoo!
Well, thanks all for listening. I hope you all enjoyed episode 49 of Low 5 Gaming. Like I said, head to the website, click on that Discord invite, buy a t-shirt, fucking give us some love. The end, just give us a note. If you haven't given us a rating, we got some good ratings out there. Give us a rating on your platform of choice. We'd love to see that. Much respect. Love you. To you, brother, and to you, listener.
Love you too, man. All right, peace.
Bye.